Slowly, we will make our students learn math better. They need to learn math better because when they grow up, they are the future of our nation. We have to do this for the sake of our country. That's it. I am teaching, I'm handling many math classes in Ateneo, of course, and I also volunteered. I'm also handling a math class in Far Eastern University, FEU today. And this is part of what I show my students. And I think everybody needs to know it. This is also why I think Ning Ning invited me and why my son and I decided that we would like to help the Philippines by doing this. Okay. You can Google everything I say. So I will first start with a bit of bad news. Sorry, pero kailangan natin alam to eh. Unfortunately, our country remains at the bottom of the world in international math, science, and reading. And this is a wake-up call for all of us. We have to get our act together. Okay? Kasi tayo lang yung bansa na kung hindi tayo magaling sa math, we find it funny and, minsan pinagmamalaki pa natin. That's a very bad attitude, di ba? Kasi kung ganyan tayo, we will not progress. Kaya nga yung mga ibang bansa, they are making lots of progress. Tayo, we are trying. With the help of NGOs like Synergia, our LGUs are trying their best, but our culture also is a culture that feels that learning difficult things is something that's difficult. Gusto natin kasi lagi ma-entertain tayo. Gusto natin lagi madali. Gusto natin instant gratification, yan yung tawag, di ba? Mahirap yun sa mathematics. Mathematics, kailangan ng tiyaga, kailangan ng effort, kailangan upuan natin. Kaya nga 3 hours yung 3 hours in 3 days eh. Hindi namin kayang bilisan to, di ba? We need you to really understand it. So going back, I will just show you recent results from international surveys. So this is PISA. PISA is the Program for International Science, international assessment, and in 2018, and we participated in this one. Reading, math, and science, okay? So countries are ranked in descending order. So the highest are actually several cities in China. Singapore is there, that's why we're doing Singapore math. Macau, Hong Kong, Estonia is doing very well. Canada, Finland, many of you know. Yung Finland, magaling din yan, yung mga Nordic countries, di ba? United States, medyo nasa gitna, okay? Japan dito, Australia, Taipei. Okay, baba tayo so nasaan ang Pilipinas? Okay. Okay, baba pa. Ito ang nakakaiyak. Umiyak ako nito nang nakita ko. Philippines, pinakamababa. Okay? So Philippines in mathematics, we are second from the bottom. Actually, Dominican Republic is lower than we are. In science, we are also second from the bottom in the world. Dito kayo magugulat, my beloved teachers, mga guro. Akala natin mas magaling tayo sa English, di ba? Pero in English, we are at the bottom. Okay, so yung math and science, we are second from the bottom. Mas mataas pa ang math and science score natin kaysa English. Nakakagulat yan, di ba? But I'm also not surprised. In Ateneo, usually, the ones who are doing well in math are also doing very well in English. So it is not true na kung Inglesera ka or arts ka, hindi ka magaling sa science. Hindi yan totoo. Sa bansa lang natin yan. Okay? So, math is a language. English is also a language. Filipino is also a language. So we learn. How do we learn English? How do we learn Filipino? Natututo tayo sa Pinoy kasi bata pa tayo. We talk to our parents in Filipino. Kayong mga nasa Northern Luzon, you even know Ilocano. Ako hindi ko alam. So we learn language by practice. Hindi ba? So yung mathematics, ganun din. We learn mathematics by practice. Ang problema lang kasi nga sa atin, yung mga kababayan natin, takot tayo sa math. So kung takot tayo sa math, ayaw natin i-practice. Eh kung hindi natin i-practice, we will never become better. That is the key. Kung ayaw natin, ina-avoid natin eh. But that shouldn't be. Kaya nga, kawawa tayo. Buong mundo, pinakamababa. Can you imagine that? Mas mababa pa tayo sa Kosovo. And that was a war-torn civil war yan. Lebanon, nako, Morocco. They are actually poorer than we are. Lagi natin sinasabi kasi mahirap tayong bansa. Pero hindi. Alam mo yung poverty should not be a hindrance. Alam mo, I'm very inspired by what Sinergia does. I'm very inspired by what you do. Nakita ko yung mga two-way radios na pinakita sa akin ni Father Ben. Yung sinabi niya yung mga yung GK, in GK, I think, Northern Luzon ba? He told me that many of these children, yung mga bata, saka yung mga guro, na walang wifi, nakita ko sa video nila. Nag-aaral sila ng math and science through two-way radios. Alam mo, napaiyak nga ako sa galak. Sabi ko nga, ang galing-galing. So, there are so many people who want to learn. Kasama kayo doon, dear teachers. Di ba? Sabado tayo ngayon. Mas madali nga. Sabi ko nga, gusto ko nga, matutulog pa ako. Pagod na pagod ako kasi yung may klase ako hanggang kagabi. Pero, mahal ko yung bansa. Ayaw ko makita yung Pilipinas laging nasa kulelat, di ba? Dapat naman may dignity naman tayo. And hindi lang just for international purposes. Mathematics and science run the modern world. Zoom is made possible because of math and science. Because our country is not good in math and science, we are also economically not very good. And we cannot think logically. We cannot think rationally. Yan yung importante sa math. Kaya hindi maganda yung we are also not solving the pandemic problem well. But we're trying our best. Malaki yung puso natin. Yan yung maganda sa Pinoy. You know, we are a very understanding, we're very compassionate, we help each other. So malaki yung puso natin, and that is something I'm always very thankful for. Sinergia itself has very, very big heart. What Ning Ning does, what Dr. Nene does, Father Ben told me about it. I've attended some of their sessions. What your LGU does, ang galing. Alam mo, ang galing. You have very good leaders. You have people who care. But this is what I also have to add, and I have to say this, because I've been teaching for more than 30 years. I started teaching at the age of 20 in Ateneo. Yung mga estudyante ko are just 1 or 2 years younger than me. Yan yung first, 1987 when I graduated. Diretso na ako sa pagtuturo. So, wala tayong problema sa puso eh. Maraming gusto magtulong. Yan yung maganda. Marami din hindi, pero wala akong pakialam sa mga hindi magtutulong, di ba? We will just work with the people who are going. You know, we will, let's not be distracted. I'm quoting Father Ben. Let us not be distracted by other people who don't who don't do what's right. We want to focus our attention on the people who are who are helping. But I need to say this. A big heart is not enough. Okay na malaki yung puso natin, and we should also have big hearts. Pero wala tayong ma-accomplish if our minds are also not as big as our hearts. Diba? If we want to help, but we don't know how to do it, wala rin eh. So many people say, we want to help people in math. I also work with Teach for the Philippines. Some of my students are volunteering for Teach for the Philippines. Before the pandemic, I taught Singapore math to grade 6 public school. Ang galing ng mga bata. Naku, 1 oras lang yun sa akin, pero marami kaming nagawa sa 1 oras. Tuwang-tuwa ako sobra. So I'm very, very sanay ako magturo sa so medyo mahihirap. Pero wala akong pakialam na mahirap sila eh. Kasi gusto talaga lang matuto eh. Like kayo, gusto niyo matuto. So poverty is not a reason for us not to do well. Many of the countries that do better than we are, Kazakhstan, Baku, North Macedonia, these countries are poorer than we are. And yet, they're handling the pandemic better. Why? Because they use their reasoning skills. They use rationality. They use reason. Importante, yung mathematics kasi hindi pwede natin bolahin. Pinoy tayo, di ba? Mahilig tayo mambola. Magsalita lang tayo, iiyak lang tayo, akala natin okay na. Or, magpupull tayo ng strings. Kilala mo si ganito, kilala mo si ganito. But that's not the way life is. Hindi tayo pwedeng ganyan kung sa pandemya. We have to know the science. We have to know which vaccines work. We have to do mathematical modeling. Okay? And many of my colleagues in Ateneo are actually helping the government with predicting what would happen if this scenario, etc. And that needs mathematics. Hindi lang pwede yung puso. Our head should be as big as our hearts. So I will end by telling you the other one. This is another international survey. The one who alerted me to this in 1996 was again Father Ben Nebres. He's been working all his life to make our country better in this one. So TIMS is the Trends in International Math and Science Study. And in 2019, there is a test for grade 4 and another test for grade 8. Mga guro, yung test ng grade 4, ano lang yan? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, saka madaling fractions. Pero hindi rin maganda yung resulta sa atin. So sino yung mga matataas? East Asian countries, top achievers by a substantial margin. Yung mga matataas ulit, pareho rin. Singapore number 1, Hong Kong, Korea, Chinese Taipei, Japan, Russia, Ireland, England, mga ganyan. Latvia, ayan na. Tuloy-tuloy, ito na. So nasaan tayo? Ito na naman, dito wala na. Hindi na tayo second from the bottom, nasa bottom na tayo. Pilipinas, tayo lang yung bansa na hindi pa naka 300. Okay? So, hindi kaya ng mga bata natin to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. That's what it means. They cannot really do problem solving. Okay, that's for mathematics. How about for science? Ito rin, mga matataas, pareho rin sa science. Tayo rin ang pinakamababa. We are a country that thinks being bad in math is okay. Pinagmamalaki pa nga natin, di ba? Takot ako sa math. Tapos natatawa tayo. Hindi tayo nahihiya sa sarili natin. Kaya ganito ang nangyayari. So, alam ko, diretso ako magsalita. Kasi kailangan ko magsabi ng totoo. Okay? I don't want to tell you, life is too short for me to tell you, to lie to you. So I'm very, very happy that you're here today because slowly we will make our students learn math better. And they need to learn math better because when they grow up, they are the future of our nation. This is not so that they can become honor students. There's nothing to do with it. We have to do this for the sake of our country. That's it. Yan yung reason. That's why we are here. It's imperative. This is no longer a luxury. Learning math in the 21st century, wherein all technology is based on mathematics and science. It is a need, requirement to. Hindi to para sa mga matatalino lang. There's no such thing as matatalino. No one is born matalino. Yung mga matatalino sa math, sila rin yung mga pinakamasipag. Yan na. Sila rin yung pinakamadisiplina